Welcome to Vino with Vito. Let's not forget Nina.
Hello.
And today we have Phil Nichols, a licensed real estate appraiser.
Nice to meet you, Phil.
Nice to meet you.
Phil, Nina, Phil. I've known Phil
Long time.
long time. You know, when you can actually call an appraiser and have them come and appraise a house.
Yeah.
How does that work today, Phil? You can naturally you can't do that, but how do the banks do that?
Naturally, you can't do that. So you go through an approved process with the banks, which the banks are appraisal management companies, and the appraisal management companies are the ones that hire you as the appraiser now. So, you know, in the past, where you would make your own deals with Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Wyckoff Financial. Today, you sign up. If they approve you, then you're on that list, and then they'll send you assignments. You're on a roster. So if your roster spot comes up, they call you. If you're interested in the appraisal, you take it. If not, and if they don't like you, guess what? You get blacklisted.
Is it true that you have to apprentice for 1,500 hours?
Yeah, you do. I mean, it's crazy because
It's a long time.
an appraisal is an opinion of value, right? And as far as the schooling and just being up underneath someone, just because I'm studying underneath you doesn't mean that I get it. You know, doesn't.
Do you
mean
always
that
follow the same person, or do you switch around?
No, a lot of times what they want you to do is they want you to follow a few different people because everybody's got a different style. So, you know, so say I take you as my apprentice. The problem is that you are, how much am I paying you to do a job that your signature is not worth anything? That's the problem.
I'm going to cut you guys off on that note. I just want to let everybody know we got a nice bottle of Josh Harth Cabernet Sauvignon. Thank you, Phil, for bringing the wine.
Thank you.
I'm going to open up this bottle so we can enjoy it, but carry on. I just want to say
He's
thank
so
you for.
formal,
I just
isn't
want
he?
to say. I just want to
It
say
gets
thank
less
you.
formal as time goes.
I want to say thank you for the wine.
He's so
Yeah,
formal.
thank you very
so
much.
formal. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, you know, like it's just it's different because when you are an apprentice and you really don't know what you're doing, how much can somebody pay you for? What is your worth? What is your worth? Because the person that has value is the person that's signing off on the report.
I thought it was like an internship, like you know.
It is. You're
right?
getting
Don't mind
paid,
me.
but that's what I'm saying. You're not getting paid much. You may make more at McDonald's per hour than you're going to make as an appraiser, because if the fee, say the fee is $300, right? Well, the person that you're working for, he's going to take the lion's share of it. His signature means something. So as an apprentice, he may give you 30%.
How many do you do a week?
Well, it depends again.
in this market.
In this market, a lot of times the turnaround time means a lot. So you know, they want you to be able to do 2 appraisals a day, 2 to 3 a day.
Can you fight an appraisal?
You can dispute it.
I'm going to get to that. Disputing
Okay.
the
You
appraisal.
can
But
look-
before we do that,
Shocker,
salute.
Vito has a story.
Salute,
for us.
everybody.
Salute.
Phil, speaking about, wow, this is really
is
good.
really good.
I like this one. Yeah, now we know what to get. Is it true that if a person fights an appraisal, it goes against the appraiser? There's like, how do I say it? You know, you not blacklisted, but there's a check on there.
Like
you know,
demerits?
like a demerit.
Well,
Correct.
you're going to make a complaint to the Board of Appraisers, is what you're going to do. But when you're fighting an appraisal, first thing you have to understand is that an appraisal is an opinion of value. So just because I say the house is worth $300,000, it's my opinion. Vito might be an appraiser. He may say it's worth $330,000. You might be an appraiser and say it's worth $400,000. It's an opinion. Doesn't mean that I'm right and you're wrong. Just means that which one of us can come up with enough backup information to stand behind our value. You know, I don't want to come up with sales that are a year old. I want to come up with sales that are a month old, 2 months old. Why? It's a reflection of what the market's doing right now. But if I go back and I get sales from a year and a half ago, well, the numbers are much higher. Why? everybody was fighting to get a home. So it's different.
Now, I had an issue recently with an appraisal, and in my career, I fought about 5 or 6 appraisals, and I won all of them. One of those appraisals, I think I actually called you on, and you had mentioned, hey, you know.
I'll be
But you-
blacklisted. He's
No.
snitching.
No, you weren't. You weren't
you
the
didn't.
appraiser. You weren't the appraiser. But you said the same thing as these appraisers. Well, I can't really discuss it. I had an appraiser, okay, come out and did an appraisal on a house, and he used to call me all the time and say, "Hey, Vito, you sold this house, so and so. Can you tell me about it?" And you know, appraisers do that all the time.
Sure.
And yeah, you talk about it and you say, hey, you know what? It had this, and that in the house. And, you know, oh, okay, good. You're very helpful. Thank you. Same appraiser calls me, does an appraisal for a house I'm selling.
Right.
Underappraises it. And I knew damn well he was wrong, okay? I call him. What was his first reaction? I can't talk to you. I said, but wait a minute. You call me all the time. Now I call you with an issue and you can't talk to me?
Well, because he was not hired by you, so you're not his client. So technically, no, he's not supposed to talk to you about that appraisal.
About that appraisal.
The person that he did the appraisal for, they can call and complain. They can ask, but as you're not my customer, so
But they say the mortgage company or the lender can't even call the appraiser.
listen, it's a myth. I mean, that's what
I'm
that's what they say.
That's what they say, but I know they can. But
listen, it's like anything else. The industry, the mortgage companies, they are the lifeline. So the appraisers, we need to get our money from the mortgages.
from the mortgage company,
So
correct.
the mortgage company is always going to have the upper hand where they can call you and say, hey, Phil, you know what? Can you take a look and see if there's any way the numbers are better than what you have right now? Maybe there's a sale that you missed. They can suggest it.
So
it's
you don't just put down what's on the contract price.
No.
But
Well,
that's
that's
99% of the appraisers. That's what they do.
That's unless you want to, try on an orange jumpsuit.
I'm just kidding.
You want to do that?
let me ask
Vito
you
will send
another
you a
question.
care package.
Comps or no comps? Do you like when realtors give you comps, or do you get offended if they give you comps?
Never get offended, because sometimes you're working in a market that you're not 100% sure about value. So I'd rather, if this realtor knows her market, sure, throw
You don't
it
have to
there.
use them if you don't want to, but
Guess what? The more information you have, the better your appraisal is going to be. Why? Because at least I know it exists. But I don't want a realtor to say they're going to give me some comps and then they exclude sales that they actually should be putting in.
Right. Which
Because
I'm
then I
sure-
come across it and I'm going, well, hold on, how come you didn't give me the house across the street?
yeah, that's why I didn't give comps for my last one.
Right.
I'm like, I have nothing.
No
some
input,
works in my
no,
favor,
really.
so-
nothing you can-
Right, but
you can
sometimes
do.
appraisers get, they get a little touchy, because they don't want somebody to tell them how to do their job.
Right.
I feel like some don't mind it. Some just okay, leave them for me if you want, and some just absolutely
I'll take a look.
Yeah.
Others do get offended.
Yeah.
But going back to fighting that appraiser, so he's like, okay, I really can't help you. Whatever, do the next step. So the next step was to file and give him my input, and he still denied it. So now it was actually in my town. The house was in a non-flood. He used flood zones for a lot of the comps, and I knew the house was worth at least $50,000 to $60,000 more than what he appraised it for. So my next thing was, you know what? I'm going to go over his head. I went right to the top guy at his company, and I explained the situation. And the guy's like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? And I told him everything. He goes, do me a favor, send me the comps, and we'll take another look at it. Sure enough, it appraised. He came back, and the appraisal was right on the money. He did it for the purchase price, but on spite, he puts there, you need to fix a gutter. I'm like, come on.
I don't know if he's doing it. Listen, of course.
But wait a minute. The gutter wasn't in the first appraisal. Now all of a sudden we need to fix the gutter.
No comment.
No comment.
Listen,
but
I
again,
can't speak for that appraiser, and I don't know what someone did to piss him off. So,
what we did to piss him off was, you know what, you were wrong on your appraisal, and guess what? Here are the comps.
I feel like you would never fight an appraisal if you weren't 100% sure.
Correct.
But
if I wasn't 100% sure, I would never fight that.
But here's
appraisal.
the thing, right? When we evaluate someone else's performance, we are evaluating someone else's performance in a field that we are not involved in, right? So if I'm a realtor, I got to wear my realtor's hat. I'm an appraiser, I got to wear my appraiser's hat. So I got to be careful, like what boundaries I can step across and which ones I can. So if Vito, maybe I can appraise a house a little bit higher, but what happens is, as an appraiser, you don't want to get sued, right? So first thing the appraiser goes, ooh,
yeah, you were wrong.
I do this appraisal, I put this number down. 8 months later, I get a letter, I'm being sued for a fraudulent appraisal. Well, why? Because somebody's saying that you overappraised it or you underappraised it. It's an opinion of value.
So I had the opposite happen at the house. One of the listings I had, it overappraised, I think by not overappraised, but it appraised about $90,000 more than list price. But he didn't, it was in a flood zone. He used comps that were not in a flood zone. And it was a 3-bedroom, and he used 4-bedroom.
Right.
But like we
the buyer was happy.
But here's that
and
problem,
I'm sure
right?
the seller was happy too.
Here's what will happen is that home that the appraiser used comps that were not in a flood zone, right? It definitely has a major impact on the value of that house. So that $90,000 that it was over. That $90,000 probably should have been attributed to location that's in a flood zone. It's tough. It really is tough because I can fight you tooth and nail on why it should be $20,000 higher. You're going to tell me I got a new kitchen, I got a new bathroom, I got AC, I got this, that, and the other thing, and I'm going to say, okay, well.
Oh, can you just come to my house and give me an appraisal?
Can I? No, I would not do that.
Oh, really?
No. You know why? Because if I give you...
I'm just curious.
Say if you tell me, hey, how much is my house worth? I just gave you a verbal appraisal. You're still liable for it.
Well, you know I wouldn't do that. We just met.
Hold on. We're
friends now.
A lot of lawsuits have been filed under We Just Met.
We just met. I recently had an appraisal in Lincoln Park, okay? And the house actually, I believe, is sold for list price or maybe $5 or $10,000 above list price. The people were putting down 60%. Appraisal comes back 20,000 under, okay? And I'm looking at the appraisal, I'm saying 20,000 under, because us as realtors, the buyer can send us the appraisals to look at too. And I'm like, this guy is definitely wrong on this one. I knew it was worth probably 510, and he came in at 445. We were selling the house for 465, right? So,
playing it safe.
So I look at the appraisal, right? And I'm saying to myself, wait a second. And this was in Lincoln Park, okay? I said, wait a second. I just sold a house up the street, literally 3 blocks up, same square footage, same bedrooms, same everything. One was a little split. This was a ranch. The ranch had a beautiful, family room in the back. So I'm saying, wait a minute. I just sold a split level literally less than a month ago for $5.25. He's appraising this 3 blocks away for $445. But the best was, and I think this was the one I called you on, I said, wait a minute. He didn't use the 5 1/4 appraisal. Why in a situation wouldn't you use that? It was a month ago, less than a month ago.
Because, say if there are, the house in question is a split. Right?
Okay.
But say I have 5 ranches, I got 7 splits. There's more than enough information
On the ranches.
in the market area that if the house is a split, I'm
There's
taking
enough
I'm
splits
taking the ranches off.
Off.
Even if the ranch that sold is next door and it sold for 5 1/4, it's still a ranch. I got 7 splits that sold in the area. That value should come out of those 7 sales. That ranch is different. The ranches are for people that want one level living.
Okay,
Right.
which
You
you're
know?
right. But not to interrupt you, but the comps this guy used, there were no other ranches. He used split levels. And the thing that really got me was he used 2 split levels. He used 1 split level on this street, and meanwhile there was another split level on the same street that was $100,000 more and didn't use that. So the attorney laughed at me when I told him I was going to fight it, and he goes, "I've never seen an appraisal get changed." I said, "Well, you never saw Vito Contuzzi
Take out your book.
fight an appraisal, okay?"
Here's 5.
The other attorney that was representing the seller put the same thing in an email, okay? Guess what? The house appraised, Phil. But the crazy thing about this is, okay, people got denied a mortgage after all that.
Why?
Who the heck knows? Something must have happened with their
I mean,
credit or whatever. Anything could have happened with them getting denied.
Why did that happen, Phil?
Listen,
I didn't have the buyer. I just had the
not a
seller.
fly on the wall in that situation.
I just had the
so
buyer. I didn't
I'm
have
gonna
I
say-
didn't have a seller, you know. But so we ended up putting the house back on the market, and I put the house back up at I believe the same price, $449 or $459, whatever it was.
I mean, listen.
And I ended up selling it instead of $465. I ended up getting $475, and guess what? It appraised. Like you said, everything is an opinion of
Look.
value, correct?
In everything that you do, right? You sell yourself. You sell your services. As an appraiser, what is the bank sending you out there to do? Sell your services. I want to make the buyer feel comfortable that he's not making a mistake, right? I want to make the seller feel they made a good choice. You know, my opinion has always been when you are a seller, if I'm a seller, I would go and get an appraisal before I talk
Before
to
you put it on the market,
before I talk
right?
to the realtor, before I talk to anybody. I'd get and just give me a fair market assessment of the house, and give me some sales, some listings that are around in my area that are a reflection of what's going on, what my competition is. When you do that, as far as a seller goes, they at least have an idea of what the market's really yielding. Not, oh, he did an appraisal, he said it's worth. No. There's no pressure on why, because the bank isn't giving them a number to appraise it, right? The buyer isn't, there's no pressure on you from the buyer that it has to appraise. You're just getting an
Yeah.
absolute.
I've gone to like show houses where the realtor that had the listing had the appraisal right there. It's like, this is what it
This is
appraised
what it
for,
is,
just so
right.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, you know, what they used to do is they used to give you the, you know, call you up, hey Phil, I got an appraisal. It needs to appraise at $550.
Right.
Okay, well,
That's when the orange jumpsuit comes back into play,
yeah.
right?
So
Do
it
you
needs
care if the
to.
sellers are there?
No, doesn't bother me.
No. Yapping in your ear.
No, because a lot of times, you know, the seller
helpful, right?
the seller may tell you things about the property
Yeah.
that
You didn't know
that
about.
you didn't know, that the realtor doesn't know, right? But as far as a seller, you know, like they may get offended because maybe they don't think that I'm valuing what they value as high.
They usually don't. They usually get offended.
Like I'll get I put this brand new sink, this brand new toilet. I spent X amount of, It's a toilet.
Right.
Really, it's a sink.
And people could spend like $75,000 on their bathroom and it's hideous.
Right.
Right.
And you're not gonna.
Right, because you don't always get
Get back. Yeah.
what you put in. And when you put something in, you're putting it in for yourself. So when you redo your basement, your attic, kitchens or bathrooms, when you're redoing them, you're doing them to your taste, not to the person that's buying it. So you're
That's
not
why we
looking
always
at
tell people when they're putting their house on
It's
the market,
yeah.
sometimes don't redo the bathroom.
No,
Don't just leave it
don't.
the way it
Right.
is, because you're going to redo it and someone's going to come in and not even like it and rip
Well,
it out and put their tastes into it.
Here's the thing about a house, right? So you guys show houses, they go through the staging, and you make everything look beautiful.
Risk our lives, Phil.
Risk
Did
your
you know that?
lives.
Every time we go meet someone at a house, we risk our lives.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I think there's a new business in line, security for realtors.
That's something. That might be something to look into.
Right?
Yeah, I like
It's
that.
just-
Give
Yeah.
it, well,
Nina, we gotta
Phil,
write
he's
that
retired
down.
now. My husband's Phil too.
That's it.
He's
He-
retired. He can do. That's what he can do.
You know,
I won't pay him anything, but
But you're right about, when you're doing something, you'll go and give somebody a market analysis, right? And you go into the house. They've lived there for 40 years, right? And you walk in, they say, and you tell them, okay, your house is worth X amount. Okay, but wait, before we put it on the market, I want to put a brand new kitchen in. I want to redo this bathroom. And you look at them and you say to yourself,
You never knew
you've
that.
lived here for 40 years.
And you didn't
Why
do
didn't you do the new kitchen, 20 years ago or 10 years ago?
But they
Why are
think
you
they're
going to
get
do it
back
now?
more. I think they're going to.
And I always tell them
The return on investments.
is not
Well,
going to
not
be
high.
I mean,
there.
listen, in appraising where you're looking to get your value back at, you get more of your value back when you say like you do new kitchen, new bathroom, but you're not really getting people say, I finished the basement. Oh my God. Okay, it's a basement. It's still considered unfinished area. It's not taxed. It's unfinished.
Unfinished.
So basement doesn't give you as
Right,
much
even
value.
if it's
It is
finished
gorgeous.
and
It just doesn't give you as
gorgeous
much
and-
value because it's below grade.
Yeah.
But the things that where you're looking, and you're seeing the value is added back. Yeah, you see the added value back in the kitchens. You see the bathrooms. You see in the flooring. Nowadays everybody's going with hardwood or ceramic, healthier. Nobody wants carpet anymore.
Oh, I
It's
hate
disgusting.
carpets
I
and
hate carpet.
bathrooms. I've seen
Nasty.
like 2 times
It's
this month.
disgusting. It's disgusting.
Disgusting.
I had an appraiser, call me one time. They were doing an appraiser, and again, like you said before, they didn't know much about the property, but I did. Hey, how old is the roof? The kitchen looks brand new, but it's not brand new, is it? I said, no, the cabinets were painted. It looked brand new.
Right.
Now, when you look at that, say painted cabinets versus a brand new kitchen, to you, is that basically almost the same kind of value, or
No, because when I go in there, like if I'm going into your house and I go into the kitchen, I'm not looking to see if the cabinets were painted recently. I'm looking at the overall appeal.
right?
of
So you
your
don't look
kitchen.
at like appliances. If the appliances are higher end,
No, why? Because so Miele, right? Great German product versus a Samsung product. They both
do the
wash the
same
dishes,
thing,
right?
right?
Dishwasher, both do the job. Why would I give you more
'Cause I spent
credit?
more.
Why would I give you more credit
Because I spent a lot more.
on the appraisal, right?
It's still a
Just-
dishwasher.
It's still a dishwasher. It's like
Yeah.
Windows, Anderson, Pella. It serves a purpose. Keeps the elements out. So whether you have Anderson, Pella, Marvin, to add more value for doing this job, a roof.
If you had a house on a main road and you had the same exact house around the corner on like a side street, is that worth more? The one on the side street?
The one on the side street would be worth more because you just have traffic issues.
But what do you deduct? Like how much is?
That is location. Location. It's too okay. So every day that
I ask because I'm on
whether
a main
it's
road. So I'm
whether
just,
it's
And I'm on the main road also. So.
let's say there's rush. Well, rush hour. You're gonna be waiting to pull into your home and you're going to be waiting to pull out of your home.
And time is
In
money.
the morning and
School
in the
time,
afternoon.
when school buses. And,
So
yeah.
those are things that you have to deal with. The guy that's on that side street, he's not dealing with that. So location-wise, how much
Well,
is
they
it?
still
How
have to
much
get
is
on the
it
main
worth?
road to
No.
get to where they're going.
It's I can't back
Pulling out
up.
their driveway, they don't
I
have-
can't back up because I got traffic coming down this side and that side. You guys are on main roads.
Oh wait, does
I
a
just
certain
pull out.
driveway add a little bit? Like if you can turn around in the driveway?
No, you're on the main street.
That's it. That's another deduction.
I mean, we're asking the judge, is there any way he's changing the life sentence? No.
All right, I tried.
Now, another question for you. I have a 3,000 square foot house that's a 4-bedroom, 3 full bath.
Yep.
Okay. And I have a 3,000 square foot house that's a 3-bedroom, 3 full bath. Okay. How would those two houses compare when you do your appraisal? Even though one is less of a bedroom, but they're both the same square footage.
Then you can, basically.
You'll be deducting for a bedroom, but
No.
how much?
Not necessarily for the bedroom. Because,
This question was for you.
Yeah, I know. I caught on.
what happens a lot of times is you're going to go you can make a square footage adjustment. Sometimes 4-bedroom houses aren't the norm in certain neighborhoods, right? Certain neighborhoods, you have 3-bedroom houses that are the norm. So that 4th bedroom doesn't mean that it's going to give you more, right? It just means that you have 1 extra bedroom in a house in an area that is normally 3 bedrooms. Yeah. So you make a square footage adjustment, and then you make a slight bedroom adjustment. So like, how much is a bedroom going for in the market? 10,000, 20,000. You know, everything is subject to, right? You put a brand new kitchen in. Say you put a brand new kitchen, but how much did you spend on that brand new kitchen? Did you do it? Did you do it on your own? Did you do it on your own?
I'm not answering that question.
So
no comment.
So versus me giving you an adjustment, right? Say you spend $20,000 on your kitchen, but I go in there, oh my God, I just put a brand new kitchen in. Well, should the appraiser put it's worth $50,000?
No.
Unless you say something, like unless somebody tells me, we just spent. I mean, the most expensive kitchen I think I've ever seen in a house is probably $300,000 for a kitchen.
I could see that. I could have
That's
spent
probably the most
$300,000
expensive
easy.
that I've seen.
If
Now,
I had it, I would have spent it, but
you have a $300,000 kitchen. Well, yeah. When I make an adjustment, I'm going to put in the final comments, though, why I made this specific adjustment on this kitchen because of the value. Mm-hmm. It was over $300,000 spent in the kitchen. So if I went to Home Depot and just put new cabinets in, well, yeah, I got a new kitchen, but what's the quality?
Exactly, yeah.
What's the quality?
So I
of
have
it?
a question on septic systems. So if you have a house that's 3-bedroom septic certified and you add a 4th bedroom, do you count it as a 4-bedroom home or do you still count it as a 3-bedroom home if you're going to resell it? So if you buy it, it's 3 bedrooms, 3-bedroom septic certified, you have it for 20 years, you add it on a bedroom, it's still 3-bedroom septic certified.
It's still 3-bedroom septic certified, but I mean, I think at the same time, you'd probably want to get it to see if any of the standards had changed in that 20-year period, because now maybe they do it as a 4-bedroom
Okay.
certified versus a 3-bedroom.
Now, does it matter septic or sewer? Still,
I think everybody
Everybody has their own
I think
opinion
everybody
on
in
it.
America really wants
Sewer.
city sewer,
Right,
city
city
sewer
water.
But I mean, there are people. If you've here's a set. If you've grown up in an environment where you're comfortable with well and septic, then guess what? Well and septic is
It's fine.
is
Yeah.
just an everyday thing. It's nothing. You know, people that live in the city versus people that live, say, in
the
Sussex
country.
County,
Yeah.
where it's common, well and septic. But you talk to people here, well and septic. Oh my God, not in my.
Yeah.
It's like Jason Dion because he's used to selling in Bergen County, and now he's in Morris
Morris
County.
County.
He's like, what the hell is this?
What the hell is that?
and,
Right.
and it's like anything else. So what's normal, what's unnormal, what's unusual, and what's usual.
I had somebody coming out of the city area looking for houses, and they kept sending these houses out way out in Morris County. Septic, well, underground oil tank. So I would just call them up. I said, "Hey, you hit the trifecta." And they're like, "What are you talking about?" I go, "You got septic, well, and underground oil tank.
Yeah.
What's a septic? What's a well? What do you? Can I get gas? No."
But, here's the funny thing: people that live in the city, right? They live in the city. They want to get out of the city first, so they come to come to Fairfield, right? They stay in Fairfield for 7 to 10 years, and then all of a sudden, Fairfield's too noisy.
Thank you.
So they gotta move further. So that's what I always notice, that the people that come in from the city.
So you're not drinking enough.
I mean, I'm not a.
And by the way, this is a night podcast.
Yes. Always.
Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you there.
I'm not a champion. These two elbows at Olympic gold medal elbows.
Strongest biceps.
There you go, gold medal.
But yeah, it's funny though. You look back and you say, "Hey, you hit the trifecta," and well, septic, underground oil. You have, I believe it's FHA. When you go for an FHA mortgage, the septic has to be so far away from the house, and it has to be so far away from actually the well. And the reason I bring that up, I had a situation where it was a small property, okay?
I'm already grossed out.
No, and the
know what
well
you're gonna say,
was like a foot closer than what the standards were for FHA for the septic. And they wouldn't approve the loan because of it. I believe they ended up going on a conventional mortgage to get a loan.
Listen, there's so many different factors that go into FHA versus conventional. What they will give you a loan for, what they won't, conditions. If a step is I think 14 inches, it's got to
Right.
have a rail, right? You're going around, you're looking at a house. How do you know what year the paint was put on?
Right.
So, I don't know since 1987, is there a paint chip that's floating around somewhere that some child could pull off the wall?
Could have gotten sucked up into the air vent.
Anything.
80 years later.
No, I remember as a kid we had
the asbestos in the basement. You lived around it, you've been around it. Now all of a sudden, it's bad. It's bad for you. It's going to kill you. It's going to kill you. And then everybody's like, Vito didn't tell me that there was
Lead paint in the basement.
man, we didn't know.
We didn't.
We had no idea.
Can we sue him?
I had an appraiser one time. I was dying. We're going through the house. I was actually there. He's going through the house and doing the appraisal, and he's turning on the water, the sink, right? The water, turning on the stove. Then he goes into the bathroom. He's looking around. Did they have a home inspection? He goes. I go, yeah, they had a home inspection. Well, did they catch this? I go, are you a home inspector or are you an appraiser?
Shut your mouth.
No. I said to him, I go, are you a home inspector or are you an appraiser? He goes, I'm an appraiser. So I said, why are you doing a home inspection too? You're supposed to be here, come and look at the house, measure,
But you're supposed
take
to
a
make
look.
nice with the appraiser.
Yeah, but you're a
again,
real estate agent and you think you're an appraiser.
No, yeah, right. I always make nice with the appraiser. Like Nina always says, the appraisers, every realtor's afraid of one person, and it's always an appraiser.
You don't know how. Yes, you have a lot.
Oh, she starts sweating. The appraiser's coming. The appraiser's coming. I go, it's
We
all
have
right.
that.
Because I don't know. I don't want to
Power?
offend them. I don't want to.
We have that kind of power.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. You're very high
I
up.
really need to stand in front of the mirror and
Very
smack
high up.
myself. It's like, you have not realized your powers.
Your power. You know
I
how much
never want to
power you
offend them. I don't
have?
want to give them comms. I don't want to.
But you know what? Here's the thing. You go out there. You see the appraiser. your job isn't to make him comfortable. Your job is to, hey, this is the house. He's got to make an opinion of value. He's going to do it. So whether you give him comps or you don't, your job is not to make him comfortable. My thing is this: when I go out there, come there, look at the house, and I want to give the buyer my fair assessment. I want to give the owner my fair assessment. I want to give the bank a fair assessment, because I don't want Vito to spend more for a house than it's really worth.
Yeah.
I don't want the bank to loan more on a house than it's worth. You just want to try and do the right thing, because it's easy when you're buying something. Everybody it has an interest. Realtor, mortgage broker, appraiser. We all have an interest. Why? We want to get paid off of that sale, right? Now, me, I'm getting paid
You're getting
regardless.
paid. You're getting
Right?
paid regardless.
I get paid
Right.
whether you get denied, approved.
Yeah.
Doesn't really make a difference. So it's harder for me when somebody says, Phil, can you do it? Like, you can't bribe me. Why? I get paid whether you
buy it, you don't buy it.
You get the acceptance letter or you don't. But you want something so bad that you'll say, I don't mind overspending, because
But
in
that's
time
it.
it'll
They
pay
always,
off.
Like I've had at least 3 in the last 3 months. Our offer got accepted, not waiving an appraisal, not limiting it, not bridging a gap, no nothing. When it's an attorney review, the other attorney comes back and says, you have to waive the appraisal.
Right, and we go back and say, no
Well,
way, we're doing
here's something,
that.
right? So I have a home, maybe 3-4 blocks away from where I live in Parsippany. Homeowner calls me up. He says, listen, I need you to come by. I need you to do an appraisal on my house. I listed it. My sister's the realtor. She listed it. And I've had 50 offers. I'm like, wow. I said, what kind of house you have? Bi-level. Tell me the street. I'm familiar with it. I go, well, let me take a look. I don't think we need to do an appraisal, but I think what we need to do is we just need to take a look at all of the sales, square footages, and amenities. Let's see what range this house could even be what value range. We don't need an appraisal, just a value range. So I go out, get all the comps. Now, he has an offer at 6.25.
House is
But
worth 300.
it's subject to the appraisal. He has another offer at 585
Waiving it.
cash. I say to the owner, I said, listen, I'm going to give you my best advice. I wouldn't even do the appraisal. I tell the guy with the 585, we got a deal. The guy with the 625, thank you, but no thank you, because once I go out there and I do the appraisal, if I can't find comps that'll comp it at 6.25, whatever the comps comp it at, that's what
Yeah.
the subject
So-
value will be.
Right.
So, but now the guy at 585, he doesn't care about the appraisal.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
He's buying it cash, right.
Take the
Right, and I've had that too, where we're in, like a bidding war with somebody, and my client's like, I'm just going to go higher. I'm like, they don't want you to go higher.
higher.
It's never going to praise
Praise,
where you're
right.
going. They want you
No.
to,
At least put more money down.
put more money down, or waive the appraisal up towards, it has to appraise for X amount.
yeah.
But now, when you look at here, I'm glad you brought up the cash thing. I had one recently where someone came in, bought the property in cash, no appraisal. He was probably 75,000 to 100,000 over what I thought the property was worth. Okay, and and I had another offer which was higher, subject to the appraisal, and I told the guy take the cash, and he did. And when now that starts being a comp, even though it was cash, correct?
Yeah, it will be a
Will you look at it and say,
But-
wait a minute,
Like, do you
this
look at
house,
the terms?
right? Do you look at it and say, hey, this house should have never sold for 800, but it was cash. That's
here's
why.
the thing, like when you're taking a look, because when you're doing the adjustments on the appraisal, right, and it's going to ask you for the terms and conditions of the sale. So, say one house sold and it was a cash transaction. does it tell you anything in the description why it might have been a cash transaction? Was it a divorce appraisal? You need to know the circumstances because some sales are not usable sales. Like, you got a divorce, that's not a arm's length transaction because it depends. Maybe you had to sell. So
Right.
you didn't have a choice. So no, you didn't get what you should have got for the house. You got under pressure value, but you didn't get an arm's length transaction. So makes a difference.
Yeah. Or maybe estate sales too, right? Sometimes.
So in the past, like, we were not allowed to use like estate sales, right?
Oh, you couldn't use them for comps?
No, because it's not an arm's length transaction. It's
True.
being sold because of an estate.
Right.
So
And normally
that
they'll
value
say it's
doesn't mean
as
that it's
is
there.
because they never lived in the property, they don't know anything
They-
about
right,
it,
they have
and they're
no
not fixing
clue.
anything or
Right.
giving credits.
So when you sell a house as is, right? So you have a house that's as is, but you were working on it. So maybe you redid the bathroom, maybe you put a new kitchen in, but the rest of the house you're still working on the living room, you're still working on a bedroom upstairs. Even though it's as is value, you did put value into the house. So it's not like it's a complete fire sale. There's value into the house. It's just, it's as is.
Well, Phil, I
Very
learned a
knowledgeable.
lot, right? He's
I
very,
did
very
too.
knowledgeable. And again, I know Phil a long, long time. Now, Phil, what do you do on your spare time? We're gonna go there now. Since you're not, I know you, I can ask you, what do you do
Now
on
I'm
your
super
spare
curious.
time?
I don't know what he does.
Yeah.
now I really want
This
to
is
know.
what we're gonna find out right now. Phil, what do you do on your spare time? Do you play any sports? Do you do anything?
I'm a golfer.
You're a golfer.
I am a diehard
Really?
golfer.
Do you-
Why do you frown?
Because I tried it. I took golf lessons. I just
But
couldn't.
let me ask you this question: you tried,
Well, I really only signed up because they promised happy hour after our lessons.
so it was.
And
for,
it never happened,
It
not
was.
once.
It was for a glass of wine or a shot.
And
Basically,
honestly,
that was
I
your
did want to
motivation.
learn. I did want to learn to golf because I didn't know
She
how to
wanted
golf.
she
I
wanted
did
to know
wanna-
how to use a golf club.
So
on my bucket
so
list.
so here's the thing:
I still don't know.
what are you good at?
I am good.
Give me
I can
two
cook
things that you're
really
good
good. I can make amazing cocktails.
Okay.
I can cook really well. And what else can I do?
You don't know how to shoot a gun, so you
I can't shoot
say
a gun.
that.
I mean, I can.
You don't know how to ice skate.
I don't. I can't change a tire.
You can't change a tire.
Okay, so we're down to cooking and
Cooking,
making
cocktail
cock-
making. I can.
good drink.
I
And
can
good
sell a
drinks.
mean house.
Look, cooking and you make a mean drink. Okay.
I'm
So-
a little athletic.
but-
So okay, athletic wise, what are you good at?
Wait. Before she answers that question, we're
Volleyball
talking
and
to you
baseball.
about playing golf,
Yes.
and you're a golfer. How good are you? I'm not a golfer. I played golf
I
one
think
time.
he's trying to get at something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, I played golf maybe once or twice. That was it. For me, it's not for me. But they say you're pretty good at golf. But I just want to know
Are you
one.
good?
They say he's good.
Who's they?
A couple. I remember a gentleman last night. We were at a beefsteak, okay, and and I believe his name was Steve Baker. He used to play for the New York Giants years ago, and he was sitting next to O.J. Anderson with the New York Giants, and he said he beat you in one hole, but you kept saying he didn't. Remember that last night? You kept saying he did not.
I remember it as clear as
Did
right
he?
now.
Steve, I'm trying to see if he really beat you or not. I'm trying to get the real answer out of him.
Here's the thing. When you're out there and you're playing golf and you're playing in outings, right? You kind of want to spur on your teammates, right? And if I'm the best golfer on the team, guess
See, I
what?
told you he's
I'm going to push your button, right? I'm going to challenge you. Like, come on, beat me. Beat me. If I can motivate you to get up to beat me and you play better, it helps the whole team. I'm a team player. So, yeah, if I have to light a fire underneath your ass, I'm going to light it. I'm not mad at you. I'm happy that you're on my team, but
This got like really serious. I thought it was gonna
No,
be.
but that's how Phil gets when he plays golf. He's really,
okay.
really serious.
No, I mean, listen.
But I'm gonna
I didn't know
like-
how I should react.
She's
I'm
like, hold on.
hold on. This is too serious now. Wait
Yeah.
a minute here.
I
You're
was
a golfer.
expecting to like laugh really loud, and I'm like,
But
oh.
I think you're gonna on this one. Now, again, knowing Phil a long time, okay, playing golf. I'm not a golfer, so who was the person that you played golf with that really out there? And I think I know the answer to this. Who did you play golf with? Who was like the biggest celebrity or the biggest figure that you played golf
I'm going to
with?
say the biggest name
The biggest name. There you go.
that I've played golf with would have to be Michael Strahan.
Michael Strahan. Okay.
I think he is.
Was he any good?
Yeah, he's good. He's competitive. He wants to win. He does not want to lose, especially to a little guy like me. And he's like,
but
But golfers aren't
I didn't
usually
even
big,
know they-
giant, muscular guys, right?
no,
Well, you gotta remember.
see some little.
you have to remember,
It's just
golf isn't about how big you are, how strong you are. It's about, can you hit this ball in the center of the face of the club, right? So you don't have to be big, strong. Doesn't make a difference.
No,
But
that's what I'm saying. You don't
guys
have to be.
that played sports, football players, hockey players, basketball players, they dominate at what they do, carrying that ball.
But
So
do
they
baseball
think,
players swing a golf
oh,
club
baseball
differently?
players. No, baseball players are good.
They're good, right?
Yeah, because you know what, they know how to
swing
Use
that
their
bat.
hips.
their hands. Great
Oh, their
hands.
hands?
Great hands. And Chris is a good baseball player. Turns into good golf. Why? He knows how to put the barrel on the ball. So he's good.
Anybody else that you can mention?
I
you
played. Oh God! I played golf with Lawrence Taylor. I played golf with
Lawrence
Strahan.
Taylor. I
I
have a
played golf
signed,
with
picture from Lawrence
Rodney
Taylor.
Hampton, O.J. Anderson, Stephen Baker, Jason Williams. You name it.
Now, how do you know all these people?
Actually, I met O.J. Anderson like 30-something years, maybe 30 years ago. And I was at a golf outing. So the gentleman that was the golf pro said at the end of the event, I want you to meet O.J. Anderson. Now, I'm an Eagle fan, okay? All the Boo Birds, there we go. And he's a giant. He's a giant Super Bowl MVP winner. So I go, well, I'm an Eagle fan. I really don't need to know him. I'm good. And he's like, stop being an ass.
Yeah, see, that's how Phil is.
Stop being an ass. So I'm like, okay. Go over, shake his hand. Hey, OJ, how you doing? Have a good one. Goodbye.
Don't need you.
I'm an Eagle fan, right? So 2 weeks later, I'm at a driving range in Union, and I walk in, get a spot, and who is in front of me? OJ and his daughter. And about 5 minutes in, he turns around and goes, how's a little guy like you hit the ball that far?
Oh, so he recognized you.
No. He said, how's a little guy like you?
You got to see O.J. Anderson. This
No,
guy
but
is.
didn't
He didn't recognize
From
listen,
the previous
He didn't
time?
recognize me from the previous time.
Oh, I
He just
thought-
said,
okay,
how's
okay.
a little guy like you hit the ball like that? And I said, because a big guy like you does everything wrong.
Oh.
Now, because he didn't recognize me from
You blowing
at
him
at the golf outing, right? I said, man, we met before. He said, where? I said, at the golf outing. And from that day on, we were, we were like that.
And Phil actually introduced me to O.J. We play poker every once in a while. I take his
Yeah.
money all the time.
I mean, listen, they're all.
You know.
I always say, when I look at athletes, right, or you look at celebrities, whatever you want to call them, they're just the same as you or I. Their problems are just magnified. That's all. When they go through things, they're magnified because they are celebrities. If we did something.
See, we just got deep again.
We got deep again. Now, how about you played with Plax too,
I
didn't you?
played with Plaxico. Plaxico's my guy. I love him to death. Good. He's trying this year at golf.
Yeah.
He's trying.
Phil introduced me to all his friends here. I'll tell you, they're the nicest people, Nina. Even though they were professional, players and everything, most down to earth people.
Most of them are just listen. They're all good people.
No.
They got the same issues that you or
And
I
they
have.
probably just want to be treated like a regular person.
That's it.
That's it.
And we do.
They don't want-
Like I say, I take OJ's money all the time when we play poker. I got to treat
Listen,
him like a
they've been
regular
taking my
person,
money, so
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm stopping. I'm on the train that says, what stop are you getting off now?
I don't think I know any celebrities.
I'm sure you do.
I know Tiki Barber lives in Florham Park. I've seen him jogging. I don't know him though.
Nah, just be careful when you're driving. Don't hit the guy, all right?
Or
You're going to get a flat tire. Then
A
you
bubble
need-
in my tire. That's what I'm known
And then
for.
you're going to need somebody.
Giant bubble in my tire.
Nina, the bubble tire girl.
That's it. Well, the wine is finished.
I mean,
Phil-
listen, it was a good time to come down here and talk to you guys. I have watched a few of your podcasts in the past. I think the chemistry is rather good.
Thank you.
I like it.
Thank you. And
I'm Robin Quivers to his Howard Stern.
Are you getting paid?
No.
Equivalently,
I actually
Robin
lose money because I usually
Quivers?
bring extra wine.
Oh, you're being paid in wine.
but I got to say though, I really enjoy this. We get a couple of laughs here and there. It's very informative. We get to drink a nice bottle of wine. That
And this is what I'm going to say to
drank.
you guys, as realtors, what you guys should do, which I don't see as many realtors doing, get into golf a little bit more.
I tried.
No. You can go to the events, pass out
the
your
events.
cards, go to the happy hour, go to
Try that too.
The first time I played golf, okay, I worked for a company that we sold to major home centers, and they had a meeting down in Florida, and we're on the golf course, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just hitting the ball.
Like mini golf?
No, it's a regular golf place, but they're telling you got to do this, you got to do that.
It's on the wrist.
And then we're in Florida. There's pelicans all over the place, even on the golf course. So I'm hitting. So I see a pelican. I go to one of our vendors, that paid us a commission to sell their product. I said, hey, pal, if I hit that pelican, you think you're going to raise the commission? Never knew I played golf. And I didn't play golf. He goes, I'll double your commission. No problem. Hit the ball. Didn't try to hit it. Because, again, I didn't know how to play golf. What do? I hit the pelican on the leg. It was by mistake, by the way.
I didn't see that coming. I thought you were going to say you hit the...
It was by mistake, by the way. And he looks at me, he goes, oh, my God. I said, trust me, I really didn't try to hit it. But since I did, commission's doubled,
And
right?
Listen, I'll tell you, out of all the sports I've ever played, to me, I think golf is
the hardest, I think.
I don't know if it's the hardest.
It's a little ball. You got to get it in this.
You know how hard that is?
No, it's
tell me
because
about
it's because you allow yourself to get frustrated because
That's
you want to control what that ball's going to really do.
I have a good idea. When the weather gets nicer,
We
we're
all
going
go
to do
play
a
golf.
live podcast on the golf course.
On the golf
Phil's
course.
going to teach us how
And
to
I'd
golf.
play
Well,
golf.
what we should do is
There you go.
we should
That's a
go
good
to
My
one.
the,
son wants to buy a golf
we
cart, so
should-
maybe we'll purchase
Well,
a golf
and,
cart.
and Ralphie wants to play golf.
we should
So
go
we're going to
to
bring
do-
Ralphie to
we should
He's
go
supposed to
and do the
teach Ralphie how to
we should
play
do
golf.
a simulator first. We
Okay,
should do a
all right,
simulator.
maybe. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And
We're good.
then
'Cause they have a-
we'll take it to the course
Perfect.
and see if the simulator has a actual positive impact on
Like
you.
Top Golf?
Top Golf, Roseland, they have Essex driving range. They have.
Oh, no, they
simulator
don't have
over
bar
there.
service.
You can bring your own, sweetheart.
Oh, all right.
You bring your own.
What,
even
golf
the
club?
one right on 46. You know where the gym is on 46.
Oh, the
Clubhouse.
clubhouse.
Yeah,
Okay. There's a simulator in
there's a
there?
place over there.
Perfect. It's right by our office,
Do it.
literally next door.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
The clubhouse.
Okay.
So we'll go there.
Yeah, I mean,
All right,
we
cool.
gotta get
All right.
we gotta get together. Gotta get your golf game up, and you would be surprised as to, I think, the amount of business that you could get out of it, because when you do different outings, you're doing them for banks, you're doing them for,
We're getting deep again. Yeah, we
But
gotta
you
go.
forget, like I signed up and I didn't know anybody and I just did it. I was like, oh, this will be fun. It's very intimidating going somewhere
yeah.
and you don't know anybody.
Anything about and
Or you don't know
and
anyone.
and
It's
you
like
don't.
everyone was in a group and I was all by myself.
well, it's intimidating because you're out there you're out there like by yourself, and guess
It's
what?
like in school, like pick a partner. I'm like, oh.
I don't know. I
She
don't
was
know.
like, I'm alone again.
Well, on that note, everybody's low. Thank you, guys.
Flashbacks of Disney World riding the space thing all by myself.
We're-
Strangers from Europe.
She's not. There are issues.
That happened. Phil would not go on anything when we went to Disney World, and I had to stand online for hours by myself.
So
And then,
long.
how many are you? One. Oh, step aside.
So can I ask you a question? Why didn't he go on anything with
Because he
you?
doesn't like rides.
Was it the company or the ride?
It might have been both because he got to stand aside when I stood online for an hour. So it could have been
He was having a cocktail while she was online.
holding the bags. And like, yeah.
Well, on that note,
Oh.
one day, and that day will come, when you need to buy or sell a house. And when that day does come, you need to call Vito Cantuzzi, the godfather of Northern New Jersey real estate.
And if his phone's off, you can call me.
Wow. Okay.
Oh.
Thank
Okay.
you.